takes for performers like me to realize that the people are there because they like you. Newley the performer is, as I say, a persona which I slip on, like a great many performers, to entertain. Then when I come off, I take it off, leave it over there, and become a very, very ordinary human being.
As for show business, Newley says it's in a state of shock, run by 12-year-old kids with no socks, and where change is the only constant. But Newley, performing for nearly 50 years now, has managed to adapt very nicely.
So, Mr. Newley, would you lead the way up there, sir?
Shall I start?
Lead off with yours, and then Pet, and then the duet of Leslie's song.
Okay,
so,
thank you.
Tony Newley.
As I say, this song is dedicated to all those lovable fruitcakes, the comedians. Look around you, Mr. Clown. You're drowning in your dream. A sea of strangers, each one reaching out for you. Make us laugh, Mr. Funnyman. Fame at last, Mr. Funnyman. Could the love you crave be waiting in some woman's heart? Or must you spend these endless nights alone among the crowd, bowing for their laughter in the dark? Wiping off the custard pie that life just loves to throw. Knowing when the audience goes home that you'll be all alive. Look at me, I'm the funny man. Have you ever heard such clever stuff before? Applauded Time magazine, he's the laughter machine. I'm the man. You killed him at the palace and you thrilled him in LA. The waiters at the deli know it all by heart. Make us laugh, Mr. Funnyman. Be a daft, dummy funny man. Everyone's an audience and life's a funny line. When the curtain's sinking, are you thinking of the day Mother gave you dancing shoes a shine? Pushed you on the stage and whispered, kid, you'll be all right. The spotlight hurt your eyes but stirred the spark that burns now in your heart. Look at me, I'm the funny man. And my home is any microphone that's free. Me with nerves of caffeine, I'm the laughter machine. I'm the man who makes you laugh. The monster with 1,000 eyes is shouting to be fed. Get your head together for the second show. Make us laugh, Mr. Funnyman. Autograph, Mr. Funnyman. Fear will drink your whiskey while you think of her embrace. Trying to forget her, though her letter of goodbye stares as you repair your painted face. discover that the spotlight was your love. I ask my own reflection and I see the funny man is me. Look at me, I'm the funny man. Hello folks, it seems the joke was all on me, but that's all in the dream of the last of the dream. I'm the man who made.
When did you two first meet, in fact? Because I mentioned you were child actors together.
Yes, I remember. It was on Vice Versa.
That was the first time?
That was the first time we met. Oh, I remember it very well.
But was it...
Why do you remember very well?
Because I was in love with him.
Really?
It's the kind of thing...
It's taken you a long time to tell me.
I could only tell him in public. I couldn't tell him in private.
Really? And you were how old at the time?
14.
14,
Come out, Dudley.
yes.
I should explain that ad lib to the audience at home. Dudley Moore's sitting behind there.
Snickering.
We're listening, yes.
Snickering.
14 at the time you fell in love with him.
Yes, let go of my hand now.
Okay.
Yes. But he was everything that I wasn't. You know, he was a bad boy, and I was such a good girl, and he was such a bore.
Really?
So bored, yeah.
She was marvellous. She was professional. She was always there on time.
Sickening.
She was very miserable.
How long is it since you saw that film?
Vice versa? Well, probably about 4 years ago.
Well, I haven't seen it all the way through, you know, for many, many years. I've seen a little bit of it.
You're
It's a bit gruesome.
Going to see a little bit now. Yeah?
Oh.
Nice clip here of the two of you going back many a year now. That marvellous moment when you first met this fella here and fell in love with him. Find it hard to believe when you see this clip.
There's your chocolate, Dicky. Oh, Dicky, I have missed you so.
No, thank you. I cannot abide sweetmeats of any kind. Perhaps I ought to explain.
No one's looking now. Kiss me quickly.
I shouldn't dream of doing anything as rash or indeed as sordid.
Ada, sweetheart, why are you talking to me like that?
Look, I'm sure you're a well-mannered little girl, but I cannot help feeling that your ebullience is a little misplaced.
How horrid you are, Dicky. So unlike yourself.
Don't start snuffling. I beg you. I can't abide a snuff.
My entire life flashed before my eyes.
You mentioned there that he was the bad boy. He was a very straight-laced, good girl, weren't you, that time? Some Shirley Temple image, wasn't it? Did you find it very boring?
No, I loved the work, but I had a very strict upbringing, a bit suburban, I suppose. And I was very polite, and I took my work very seriously. And, well, you went back to the sort of life you had, you know, at home, and I went back to a very, very strict kind of life. And I don't, maybe it was a good thing, I don't know. I don't think I was a spoiled brat, you know,
No, you weren't.
the showbiz kid, you know.
Were you allowed boyfriends?
No, I was very frustrated. Sad, isn't it?
Really?
Yes.
Did you know you were frustrated at the time, if you know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
If I'd have known it at the time, you wouldn't have been...
Too late, you see.
Oh, God.
That's showbiz.
Was that your first screen kiss there? Or in that movie?
Did we actually kiss? Did
No, we kissed in another movie, didn't we? Or I cuddled you in what was that other film with
The Huggins.
Jack? Well, yes.
A Huggins
I've
film.
always told everybody I gave you your first screen kiss. I thought it was in the Huggins.
It could be, yes. I gave Alec Guinness his first screen
Or
kiss.
somebody else you were, yes?
Yes.
What was that in?
In The Card. And well, he's a very shy man, and we hardly knew each other, you know. And it was about the third day, and they always give you the big love scene, you know, just you hardly know the person. Sometimes that's a good thing, because once you get to know the person, you don't want to do the scene anyway. But in this case, it was, I was a bit timid about the whole thing, and well, I think it was very charming. I mean, it wasn't anything very passionate, but it was quite a big moment. How
do you avoid the trap of or escape from the bonds of being a child star? Because you get locked into a terrible sort of rut, don't you? I mean, and only the lucky ones get out. How did it happen to you? You got out?
Well, it was a long, long time, because they kept me young. They kept me young for a long, long time, because I was more valuable as a child performer than as an adolescent, an adult. At that time, of course, when all the big stars were men, you know, Jack Hawkins and John Mills, and it was all very masculine. And so they bound my bosom in and made me wear ankle socks for a long, long time.
Made you flat-chested deliberately, did they?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. And
an extraordinary thing to do.
They did.
Well, it is extra. It's not natural, is it?
They did that to Raquel Welch for years, you know.
That's very unpleasant, actually. I mean, I don't know how you come out of that with sort of your brain the right side up.
No, it isn't easy. You know, when I was about 17, 18, I had to go through self-analysis. I was too scared to talk to anyone about it, because at that time it wasn't very, you know, the thing to talk about one's mental problems. And I brought myself through it, which is a very hard thing to do. But I managed it, and I'm fine now.
But by what process? I mean, what helped most of all in you coming through that?
Well, I think I was quite courageous. I really just looked at myself, and I realized I wasn't going to be any of the things that I wanted to be, and that's very hard. And that I was going to have to face life really on my own. I guess we're all really alone, and that's something that had never occurred to me before.
But what sort of things did you want to be, then, that you weren't going to be?
Well, I was going to be Ingrid Bergman, you know, and tall and mysterious, and really all the things that I can't ever be, you know. Things that I am deep down inside, of course.
That's the other person trying to get out of it, yes.
Yeah, we're all trapped by our physique a bit, aren't we? A little bit.
I suppose we are, in a sense.
Yeah.
Do you feel trapped by your physique, Tony?
Yes, I have been trapped. No, I know exactly what Pat means, and I went into analysis too. I mean, we're going to drop analysis. I'll drop mine too. And I found it the most exciting thing in my life. I mean, I felt as if I was reborn again. I think if you can afford it, and you do have, you know, not getting the most out of your life, it's a marvelous experience. Was yours good? I mean, sometimes they're not good.
This was
self-analysis.
Oh,
self-analysis. She didn't go to a shrink.
No.
She did it herself.
Oh, I paid for mine.
Did you? Have you been to a shrink ever, Leslie?
No, only Tony. Look, I think writing helps a little bit there, because you can get your fantasies out on paper and watch other people play them out for you.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes.
But France, in fact, was a turning point of your life, wasn't it, really, as a career? I mean, you went to France, and it all sort of really happened from that point on.
It turned out that way, but I really went to France because I fell in love with a Frenchman, and I mean, I was very surprised finding myself living in this country where I couldn't speak the language, and I didn't like it very much at first, but I was in love and happy to be where he was. And then I found that I had a career, that people liked me, and they liked me for what I was, you know, that not for what I had been, whereas I'd been carrying this childhood thing on my back for a long, long time. And in France, they had never heard of me before, and they just liked me the way I was. And
but you wrote a beautiful song, Peg, called Two Rivers. Remember Two Rivers?
Yes.
Which was very much about all of that, because it was your ties to London and your ties to France. It was about the Thames and the Seine. Beautiful song. She writes too. It's
yeah, I know she writes. I was going to talk about that, actually, because you've written some of the songs on the new album you've got, haven't you, as well?
Yes, I have.
And in fact, you're going to sing one for us in a few minutes' time. How do you go about writing a song? I mean, do you sit there and wait for the muse to light on your shoulder, or...?
Yes.
You do? You literally just sit there and wait, for something to happen?
Yes. Well, I'm not a professional songwriter, you know. It just has to happen. It really does come over me like a kind of lovely cloud, and I have to get it down very fast. And sometimes it works. I mean, the song that I'm going to sing later on just came I wrote the whole thing in half an hour. I don't know if you've ever done that, Leslie. But
Well, I mean, what's your routine, Leslie?
To start the day as late as possible and work as little as possible. Tony and I are very fast. In fact, we wrote the score of Stop the World in a week. No, the show we wrote in 4 weeks. We wrote the score in 8 days. I've got a piece of paper in one of my notebooks, which is a very nice piece of paper to have. We've got What Kind of Fool Am I on that side, and Once in a Lifetime on that side. That was one of our better days.
You see, that's what's so great about working with somebody. You know, that loneliness of the writer is really a desperation. But Les and I, half the time we're laughing, you know, having a good time. That's why I think collaboration is so much easier.
But there's a reverse side to that too, of course, isn't there? And that's just actually getting on each other's nerves, the friction of two people living together and trying to create together.
Oh, it's like a marriage without the sex, yeah. I mean, it's an intellectual love affair between two men. I mean, and sometimes it stands about as much chance as a physical one between a man and a woman, you know. But
we've been very lucky, actually, because we, as Tony said, we giggle our way through most of it. We tend to write lots of filthy material, as well as when we're writing the other stuff. We put all that. We've got more filthy material.
Oh, yeah.
It's extraordinary, yes. And
can you remember it?
Pages, oh, yes, but not on this program. It would be one long bleep.
How easy is it to perform your own material? Or is it more difficult? A song that you've written yourself. What do you think, Tony?
I think it's easy.
Easier, do you?
I think it's lovely. It's like going for a walk with your own child, you know. I would much prefer to sing. In fact, there are very few songs that anybody else wrote that I'd want to sing. I mean, and I don't know what that sounds like, but it's just organic, you know.
It's all part of the same process. I mean,
yeah.
What about you, Pet?
well, I find it rather difficult, but then I have a sort of hang up about it. Because it's really saying, not only do I sing like this, but I think like this. This is exactly who I am, you know. Isn't that
great.
so?
Yeah,
yes,
that's
but
great.
if you can do it, and maybe little by little I will be able to do it. That's why I've started writing, because a lot of the songwriters around today are young and very talented, and they record a lot of their own material. But I don't always agree in what they're saying in their songs. And so, you know, if I really want to say what I have to say inside me, whatever it is, then I've got to write it myself.
Sorry.
So I was going to say, I think that's why a lot of performers form attachments with writers.
Yes.
As you did with Tony Hatch, you sang a lot of Tony's things. Kahn and Van Heusen, Sammy with Sinatra. And with ourselves, obviously Tony first, and Sammy Davis has been our kind of pet singer.
House writer, house singer.
Well, we're going to end up with some musical splurge from all three of you, actually. In fact, a song that you've written, which you're going to sing, a song that you've written, which you're going to sing, and then a duet with the two of you. One of Leslie's loveliest songs, yeah. But first of all, let's... Oops, I'm falling over. Yes, what a way to end the series. Yes, no, I'm all right, darling. Tell me about the song that you're going to sing, Pet. Well, what's the story behind that? That's You're My Destiny, isn't it?
Yes, or Destiny, I think, because a lot of people think You're My Destiny is the old Paul Anka song. But, well, I wrote it... I can't tell you exactly how it came about, but I remember writing it. I wrote it in the chalet in the mountains, and it was a beautiful, sunny day with snow everywhere, and it just came over me. And every time I sing it, I feel this thing coming over me again. That's all I can say about it.
And yours, Tony, The Man Who Makes You Laugh? What's that about?
I hacked at that for about 6 weeks. It didn't come over me at all. I am the slowest writer in the world. You know, I go back over commas and dots. And I was making a movie up in Canada, and I just run off the set and go...
You're my destiny. Our love was meant to be. One look at you and I knew my searching was through. The lonely years were over. Just a smile ago, our spirits said hello. You seem to know who I am. We're part of a plan that's far too big to understand. Hold my hand, hold on.
us through the lonely years were over. Oh Lord, is this deja vu? I feel so close to you. I couldn't run if I tried. And where would I hide from all this love you're offering me? You're my destiny. This was meant to be. You're my destiny. You're my destiny. You're my
Will you promise me something? Will you really promise me something? You must write your own songs. You must. You write beautiful songs. And you write nice things about what's coming inside of you. Please, write more songs.
Thank you.
Now we're going to sing a Bricusse song, right? I'm on the wrong side.
Try.
You mind if I go around the other side?
Who
my bad
starts?
side.
Who starts?
Well,
Well, let's do a dramatic opening of the piano.
do it the way you used to do it. You used to start singing.
Okay. These words go. You and I have traveled far together. We've pursued our little star together. We are happy as we are together.
We may never get to heaven, but it's heaven at least to try.
You and I are going on together till the time we have is gone together. Watch the evening drawing on together.
Growing older, growing closer,
Making memories that light the skies,
that only time can make.
that only love can make,
That only we can make.
you and
Change your key.
you and I are going on together.
Till the time we have is gone together. Watch the evening drawing on together. Growing older,
Growing closer,
making memories that light the sky. That only time can make.
that only love can make,
That only we can make.
you.
may I thank Mr. Ian Fraser for accompanying...
That was lovely. I think, actually, that the nice thing that we said about that is the composer enjoyed it more than anybody in the hall.
We should work together more often.
That's the biggest testament. It was lovely. Thanks a lot to the three of you. I really enjoyed that. And that's it then, the last show of my present series. My thanks to my guests tonight, who are Pet, of course, Tony and Leslie. My thanks also to everyone who's helped during the past 26 weeks. We'll see you in September. Good night.